I'm a bit emotional. Hi everyone, and welcome to a new video. Yes, it's like when you talk again to an old friend. Seems that time hasn't passed. Yeah, more or less the same sensation I have riding again an Ultimate. This is a bit of a nuke bike day / old bike day, because this is where it all started more or less 5 years ago, when upgrading from my first road bike, from a Merida, quite heavy aluminium bike, I decided to go rim brake and get an Ultimate CF SL7. A used one I still have, my winter bike when I go to commute on the wet days. And then what happened, I got so much in love with the Ultimate that I decided to buy a second one, maybe the last model of the rim brake version that Canyon made. And I was so happy because I upgraded the better Ultimate to 6.75 kilos with a lot of components, and I was yes, happy with my two Ultimates, one for the commute, one for the good days. And also I added a aero bike from Velobuild. Unfortunately, things started to go a little bit wrong. I crashed my Ultimate on a commute on this very bollard and yes, the frame cracked on the top. And at the same time, my other two bikes got stolen. The better Ultimate I had and the Velobuild aero bike, both gone from my shed on a tragic rainy night. But then help came my way. Yes, a friend working at Canyon UK helped me out after the crash of my Ultimate, kindly providing this beautiful new frame. So they had still in stock an old rim brake large Ultimate, and that was meant to replace the cracked frame on my commuting bike, but I got concentrated on rebuilding my performance bike. So I bought a rim brake high rod, kitted it out, and that became my flagship bike for the performance ride. And I thought I was going to be happy merging the aerodynamics and lightweight in one bike, and keeping the second bike still with a cracked frame for the commute, because at the end of the day the bike still works. The commute is only half an hour. I'm using the bike only when it's wet, no long distance, and I think it's still safe to ride. Yeah, so maybe Canyon thought I was going to replace the frame, but maybe I was a bit naughty and kept them both. And this is the project that eventually I managed to build up with the frame that I got, that can yes, provide good performance, and maybe on days where the weather's not perfect, or I don't want to really use the full force of the aero bike, and at the same time the bike for the commute is maybe too slow with the aluminium wheels and the Sora components to go and enjoy the ride on a more performance level. So this was the perfect occasion of building a bike that with very little investment could produce great performance, come out with a decent weight, and I will be able to also swap wheels when it's needed. The old prime wheel set that I had, that I can use when the weather is not great, so I don't really mind ruining a little bit the brake track on them. Also using the Winspace R45s on this bike that fit perfectly with this type of frame design, and leave the I-Rod with the R67 wheels for really when I want to push hard and fast. So of course the I-Rod was going to be the jewel in the crown, the Dura-Ace, power meter, one-piece bar and stem combination. So all the best components went into the I-Rod to make it, of course, light and fast. The brief for this Ultimate, however, is to make it efficient, cheap, at the same time reliable, the aluminium bar stem, all 105, easy to repair, and not expensive if you have to replace components. I need to thank one of my followers, if I may, Spencer Monday, that has got a beautiful paint workshop for bikes that gifted me the saddle I use on all the other bikes. I use still a Sellitalia Novus Boost, and he was so kind to send me the saddle because he was not using anymore. And yes, it's really a great addition to this Ultimate, and thanks again for sending me the saddle. I really appreciate. So the bike is considered a lightweight one. You don't see wide profile on the tubing, and it's a classic design. I have to say, I still like how these bikes handle. These round tubes, the fact that the seat stays come up a little bit higher, make this bike a better performer where you put the power down, especially uphill. So on the very steep section, this got a little bit of an advantage. The bike fitted with all the cages, pedals, computer mount, comes at a respectable 7.4 kilos, which is, considering the basic spec and the 105 components, really good. And especially thinking that this bike, brand new, a few years ago, came out at £1,700. To me, this represents really the essence of basic cycling. I put the bike myself together, bottom bracket, I use a Ninja token that you could screw inside without using the press fit tools. So this is really a breeze to build. So guys, if I can do it, you can definitely do it. And I'm very proud of the gearing I chose for this bike. Maybe you know, I really love the big ring at the front. So I started with the bikes with the 5236, the Ultimate in the stock configuration, and I moved to a 53 outside, still keeping the 36 inside. Really high gear to go fast on the flat, and at the same time still being able to climb with the 36 and the 30 at the back. On the high road, the 53 is not available anymore. You have to go 5440 with the 12-speed gearing, matched with the in 11-speed cassettes. But climbing on a 40 and 34 at the back, 1134 cassette, is coming to the end of my capabilities. I often want a easier gear to being able to climb over the 12 digit, like when it goes to 10% and upwards. So on this bike I made a particular combination. Professional gearing 5339 and 5440 have 14 tooth difference. So when you move the chain from the big gear to the small, there's less of a drop, and it is easier for you to maintain a good cadence, but at the same time harder for you to climb on a small gear. So for this one I did a hybrid combination. So I bought a 54 outside ring from TA Specialités, yes, French brand, and in 38. So in this configuration I maintained the 16 teeth drop to make the range as wide as possible, with an 1134 cassette at the back. So I can get the best of both worlds, still using the big ring, 54 and 11 at the back when I want to go fast on a straight, and the 38 and the 34 that can make me climb every gradient I can manage, well, to an extent with my legs. So I'm not going to do the same on the I-Road as I was thinking, because at the end of the day the I-Road is best for the rolling terrain with the big deep section wheels, and I like changing from the big 54 to the 40 and not having that huge drop. So I think that for that bike, that gearing is the best, and for this one is the best combination possible to give you the widest range that you can have. It's getting darker earlier than I expected. Riding again the Ultimate makes me think of the Ultimate got stolen. I wonder where it is now. The feeling of a classic bike are really great. It's fantastic when you push on the pedals, you're going uphill, you feel every bit of your power going through the gears and on the wheels. At the same time, yes, this bike doesn't cut the air as the I-Road. Above 35-40 you definitely feel that the I-Road still keeps accelerating, while here you do have a little bit more friction. Maybe if you don't get your personal best on some segments on the flat, you can still ride with your fast friends, so this bike will not hold you back, especially if you are a lighter rider, a classic frame, will get better performance, especially in crosswind. If you're a powerful rider, you like sprinting, then maybe the iRod is the bike to go. I hope you can still see me. It's getting dark. To me, 3 is the perfect number. That's the most balanced setup, and more importantly, if you put together the prices of all 3 bikes, maybe you don't get to one good bike of modern times. So yes, it's another interpretation of this beautiful sport. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, and as usual, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.